Today we're making this easy quilt in a day using a jelly roll. Hello, my name is Jenna, and today we are making this quilt that you can literally make in a day using this quick and easy piecing and seam ripping method that some people call trip around the world or Bargello style quilts. And all you need is a jelly roll. And a jelly roll is just 42.5 inch by width of strip fabrics that are usually from one solid collection. To start off this quilt, we are going to take all of our jelly roll pieces and we're going to cut them in half. And I'm not going to measure out half. I am just going to cut exactly where that fold is. And this will get you to a 2.5 by about 21 inch piece. Now we're going to take our half strips and we're going to put them into groups of 6 fabrics. And where we place our fabrics is how we make the cool X pattern, the crisscross pattern that you see in the final quilt. We're going to start with the darkest fabric we have on the top, and then we're going to go to the second darkest fabric we have, and for me it's this orangey, this rusty orange, and that's going to be our bottom piece. And then we're going to get slightly lighter as we go towards the middle. We're going to start with the darkest fabric at the top, the second darkest at the bottom, and then we're going to slowly go lighter as we go in. So we've got slightly lighter and then our lightest fabrics in the middle. I like to have my selvages on the end just because it makes it easier to sew them together and to line everything up. And now we are going to sew all of these together, and to make that easier, I just like to sew them into little pieces first and then sew all my strips to each other. And when you sew these together, make sure to use a scant 1/4 inch seam, which means you're sewing a little bit less than 1/4 inch, and this will just help our final blocks end up the same size in the end. Our next step is to press everything in one direction, and just to keep things consistent, I like to press everything towards the main dark fabric, so the darkest fabric. And my little tip and trick for pressing rows like this is I want to make sure that my seam right here is facing this way first, and then I'll take the edge of my iron and I'll just run it lightly against that seam so that the fabric kind of locks itself in the way I want it to go. And then I can go and push that fabric over the edge. A lot of the times when beginner quilters press their seams, especially their strip seams, they'll press it just on top where there is a little bit of a fold that kind of looks like this over the seam. And that just makes it so that our seams are a little bit less accurate and it's harder to line up our points later on. This is why I love doing the trick of making sure first your seam is all facing this way, then we can run the edge of our iron against that seam and that just pushes it more where we need it to go. And then I can go and just push that seam on top. Now we're going to fold the strip piece in half and make sure those raw edges on the end are lining up. And then I'm going to sew that all the way down using my scant 1/4 inch seam allowance. For this quilt, you're going to make a total of 13 strip pieces. And this process goes by so much faster if you're using a fast machine, just like the little Rebel. And our next step is where all the magic happens. We're going to now cut our strip piece down into 2.5 inch little sections. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ruler, and this is a 6.5 by 12.5 inch true cut ruler, and I'm going to line up one of the lines on my ruler with one of my seam lines. I'm going to first create a straight edge by just cutting off my left side. And now I can measure 2.5 inches from the edge, and just to make sure that everything is lining up nicely, I'll line up my 2.5 inch line with that straight line we just made, and then make sure that another line on my ruler is lined up with the seam, and then I can go ahead and cut it. And I'm going to cut this whole thing into 8 2.5 inch strips. And I'm using my 45mm My Comfort cutter, and I love this guy because there is a guide that hooks on to the edge of the ruler. The guide on my ruler is hooking on to this lip on my cutter, so it's not going anywhere, which helps me get straighter, more accurate pieces. And I feel like as a newer quilter, I struggled keeping my rotary blade right against my ruler, and I would get wonky cuts all of the time. For each block, you're going to need 6 of these strip sections, and you're going to have 2 left over, and make sure to keep these because we're going to use these to make more blocks later on after we cut all of our strip sections. Next, you are going to need your handy dandy seam ripper, and we are going to seam rip these pieces in a way that creates a stair-step looking design. And I'm going to start with where I folded my piece over initially, where my 2 darkest pieces are, and I am going to just open this up. Ta-da! And here's your little trick for knowing where to seam rip next. I'm going to look at my first row, and I'm gonna look at these 2 blocks, and I'm gonna seam rip in between where those 2 blocks are. So I'm gonna find my next piece. Those 2 blocks are right here, and this is where I'm gonna seam rip next. And instead of having to seam rip like this, I like to first seam rip a couple of the stitches right here. Then I can get the ball part of my seam ripper in between the seam, and then I like to hold with my thumb right here and just push that fabric. Push it through. Then it seam rips super easily. I can put this next strip there. Now to know where to seam rip my next piece, I'm gonna look at the ends right here, and I'm going to seam rip in between these 2 pieces. And then I'm looking at this strip, I'm gonna seam rip in between these 2 pieces. Then I'm gonna keep going through this process until all of the pieces are seam ripped. Do you see how cool the stair-stepping design is? And the best part about this method is you don't have to cut out a bunch of 2.5-inch squares and sew them together. You strip piece, sub-cut, and then seam rip to get this beautiful design. Now we are going to press our seams in alternating directions. If you're wondering, Jenna, then why did we press initially when we were just gonna have to repress them again? The reason we did that is so that we could get more accurate cuts so that the fabric doesn't fold back on each other in a weird way where our cuts are a little bit wonky. We press first, then cut, then we'll press again. And so I'm gonna press these going alternating directions, just like this. And because we press the seams first, you will need a little bit of extra steam, or if you have a spritzer bottle with water, you can use that to just loosen up those seams a little bit. And now we're gonna sew all of these together, and because we pressed our seams in alternate directions, we can go ahead and nest our seams, and that just means that our seams are gonna butt right up against each other so they lock, and that makes it easier to get more accurate points. If you are a newer quilter, I recommend pinning, or you can try just nesting your seams as you go. And if you are someone who wants to try nesting your seams as you go, I recommend making sure that your seams are butting up right next to each other, and then just putting your finger right on top of where they are touching. Then keep your finger there as you go so your fingers stay right next to each other. And our last step is pressing all of our seams open. And look how cute and easy this block was to make. For this quilt, each block is gonna be a little bit different just with how you put your strips of fabric together, but for all of them, you're gonna have the darkest fabric in the middle. Then you're gonna have 3 blocks at the end that are made with your random strip pieces, and you just wanna make sure that when you seam rip these guys, that whatever the darkest fabric, those stay in the middle so that it continues the design. And in the end, you're gonna have a total of 16 blocks that you can place in a 4x4 grid, and you're just going to change the design by how you orient that center darker fabric strip. For this quilt, I made 16 blocks and then oriented the darker fabric so that it makes this diamond design. And if you're interested, I have the pattern for this full quilt for free in the description below, along with all of the products I've used in this video. And what's really fun about this quilt and with using a jelly roll is it gets really scrappy, which is my favorite way to make a quilt, but you still get your design by having the darkest fabrics in the middle and working your way out. If you have a jelly roll lying around, I hope you make this quilt because it's so fun and easy. I look at this quilt and it brings me so much joy. It just makes me so happy. And now I gotta find someone to give it to. And then I can start a new quilt. Please let me know your favorite pre-cut in the comments so I can make a quilt in a day using it. I tend to lean towards jelly rolls, but maybe I need to go to fat quarters or even layer cakes next. Just let me know because I want to make what you want me to make. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more quilting content and more free patterns, and I'll see you next time.
If you enjoyed that, check out more videos from Grace Company on our support channel, our Quilters Playground channel, and right here.